Introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we step into the world of a man whose name needs no introduction. Michael Joseph Jackson, the king of pop. But in this story, we're not just talking about his music, his albums, or his worldwide fame. We are diving deep into the dance move that changed entertainment forever. The moonwalk. It wasn't just a dance step. It became a cultural earthquake. A move so magical, so surreal, that people who witnessed it live often compared it to seeing something otherworldly. This is the story of how Michael Jackson turned the moonwalk into a legacy. A legacy that continues to inspire dancers, artists, and dreamers across the globe. Chapter 1: The World Before the Moonwalk. To understand the moonwalk's power, we need to travel back to the early 1980s. The music industry was going through a transformation. MTV had just launched, and music videos were becoming the new way to connect with fans. Pop stars were not only expected to sing, they had to move, they had to perform, they had to give a show. Michael Jackson, already known from his Jackson 5 days, had released his groundbreaking album, Thriller, in 1982. But nobody could imagine that in just a few months, one single dance move would flip the entertainment world upside down. Chapter 2: Roots of the Glide. Now, here's the truth. Michael Jackson did not invent the moonwalk. Before him, dancers had experimented with similar steps. In the 1950s, Cab Calloway and performers in jazz clubs played with backward glides. In the 1970s, street dancers, especially those in funk and popping culture, refined the move. It was known by different names: the backslide, the glide, the floating step. But here's the difference. While others used it as a cool trick, Michael turned it into a moment of history. He didn't just perform the moonwalk, he breathed life into it. He made it look effortless, smooth, almost supernatural, as if his body had discovered a loophole in gravity. Chapter 3: Motown 25. The night everything changed. It was March 25, 1983. NBC was broadcasting a special event, Motown 25, Yesterday, Today, Forever. The lineup was incredible. Legendary Motown artists came to perform. But the night truly belonged to Michael Jackson. When Michael took the stage to perform, Billie Jean, he was dressed in what would later become his iconic look. Black sequined jacket, white gloves shining under the lights, black pants with white socks and loafers. The performance was already electrifying. His voice soared, his energy was unmatched. But then, during the instrumental break, it happened. Michael Jackson slid backward while moving forward, the moonwalk. The audience gasped. Some screamed. Some couldn't believe what they were seeing. To the millions watching at home, it felt like magic. A man gliding across the stage, defying physics, making the impossible look easy. That night, Michael Jackson didn't just perform. He changed culture forever. Chapter 4: Reactions to the Impossible. After Motown 25, the world exploded. TV shows replayed the clip. Newspapers called it the dance move of the century. Fans tried copying it in living rooms, on sidewalks, in schools. Even fellow musicians and dancers were stunned. Fred Astaire, one of the greatest dancers in film history, called Michael Jackson the greatest dancer he had ever seen. Young kids, especially in inner cities, began practicing harder. The moonwalk became more than entertainment, it was a symbol of possibility. Chapter 5: The Moonwalk is Art. Michael didn't stop at one performance. He perfected the moonwalk, embedding it into countless live shows. The Victory Tour with his brothers in 1984. The legendary Bad World Tour of 1987-1989. The Dangerous World Tour in the early 1990s. And, of course, the History Tour in 1996-1997. Each time, the moonwalk was a centerpiece. But Michael never treated it like a gimmick. He treated it like art. Notice how he used it. Sometimes as a dramatic climax, leaving the audience screaming. Sometimes subtle, like a whisper, making people lean closer. Always timed with the music, always perfectly synced with the rhythm. It was never just a move, it was an expression. Chapter 6: Why the Moonwalk was Revolutionary. The moonwalk's power lay in three things. 1. Illusion. Your brain told you it was impossible. He moved forward, but slid backward. 2. Style. Michael's posture, his sharp angles, his elegance made it hypnotic. 3. Emotion. He didn't just do it, he performed it with passion, making it feel alive. This combination made the moonwalk unforgettable. Think of it this way. Anyone can learn the mechanics of the moonwalk, but very few can capture the magic that Michael gave it. Chapter 7: A symbol of the 80s and beyond. The 1980s were filled with pop culture revolutions, Star Wars, video games, MTV. But the moonwalk stood out because it wasn't a product, it wasn't technology. It was pure human expression. For many, Michael Jackson's moonwalk became the symbol of the decade. Just like Elvis shaking his hips in the 50s, just like the Beatles arriving in America in the 60s, Michael's moonwalk defined the 80s. Chapter 8: Legacy Through Generations. Decades later, the moonwalk is still alive. Dancers around the world practice it. TikTok challenges, YouTube tutorials, street performers, even robotic toys, all keep the moonwalk alive. When Michael Jackson passed away in 2009, countless tributes showed fans moonwalking in his honor. At vigils in Los Angeles, Paris, Tokyo, Karachi, and beyond, people slid backward across sidewalks to remember him. The moonwalk isn't just a dance step anymore. It's a global symbol of Michael's genius. Chapter 9: Influence on Modern Artists. Look at today's artists: Usher, Chris Brown, Justin Timberlake, The Weeknd, BTS, Bruno Mars. They all draw from Michael. Some even directly moonwalk in their performances as a tribute. In every smooth slide, every gloved hand, every tilted hat, Michael's influence shines. Chapter 10: Why the Moonwalk Will Never Die. The moonwalk will never disappear because it represents more than entertainment. It represents innovation, doing what nobody thought possible. Courage, stepping on stage and showing the world something new. Magic, creating a moment people will never forget. Michael Jackson once said, "Study the greats and become greater." That's exactly what he did. He studied, practiced, perfected, and then elevated dance into a new dimension. The moonwalk is his eternal footprint on the stage of history. Closing words. And so, the story of Michael Jackson and the moonwalk isn't just about a move. It's about a man who believed that art could be limitless. A man who took inspiration from the past, turned it into something unique, and gave it to the world as a gift. Every time someone attempts the moonwalk, Michael's spirit glides with them. He may no longer be with us physically, but his moonwalk legacy ensures that the king of pop will forever live on. Because when Michael Jackson danced, the world stood still. Stopwatch: this script, when read slowly with pauses, storytelling tone, and dramatic emphasis, will last over an hour.